evening and welcome. I would like to welcome all attending and those watching remotely to this meeting of the New York State Unemployment Insurance Appeal Board. This is our first meeting of 2025, and we are located today in the board's headquarters in Menands, New York. I wish to thank all of those attending and those watching this meeting for your continued interest in the operations and management of the UIAB. We are an adjudicative body with jurisdiction over disputes regarding eligibility and payments concerning New York State unemployment insurance. Thank you for your continuing interest in this consequential work. My name is Geraldine Riley, and I am the chair of the New York State Unemployment Insurance Appeal Board. This meeting has been noticed, the draft agenda has been published, and the minutes from the previous October 16th, 2024 meeting have been circulated to the members, and the public has been invited to observe. This meeting is being recorded and will be available along with the minutes on our website, uiappeals.ny.gov. I would like to begin this meeting by expressing my thanks to all of those who have supported the work of the board in addressing the many challenges that we face. We have recently had a change in the composition of the board, and I would like to thank our former member, Michael Greason, for his many years of service. Our board is now comprised of myself, board member June O'Neill, board member Randall Douglas, board member Marilyn O'Mara, and our newest member, Kimberly Jane Pierre. Today, we welcome our newest member, Kimberly Jane Pierre, who is joining us today in Menands. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to this new challenging role, Kimberly. I know you will devote all of your energies to ensuring the continued success of this board and the important work that we perform for the people of our state. We are so grateful that you have joined us. Today, I would like to thank the staff and leadership of all of our offices, and of course, and primarily, I would like to thank my colleagues on the board for their work, encouragement, and support. For this meeting, I would like to again acknowledge the myriad technological innovations which the past year has brought. We have accomplished through the expertise and innovation of our leadership team, a workplace that is better and more efficient, and we have accomplished a continuing excellent product in a customer-friendly environment. You will hear more about these exciting projects during the executive presentations, but I can assure you that this has been a time of technological advancement, which will change many aspects of how we do our work, all in the interest of serving our customers and our employees in a smarter and a better way. These include virtual hearings, electronic case files, an improved customer service communication system, our CLE library, and UISIM, and other innovations that have been accomplished or are on the horizon. As ever, it is my hope that a regular and consistent schedule of board meetings presents a board that is proactive and accessible, and a board which aggressively addresses the 21st century challenges that we face or that we anticipate, and that we address those tasks with optimism and confidence in the skill and effort of our many talented employees. Each board member and each staff member is serious and interested, industrious and engaged in their approach to the important work that we do, and I sincerely thank them for that. I want to acknowledge and thank our Chief Administrative Law Judge, Tracy Covey, who is based in Syracuse, but who is here today in Menands, and who has worked tirelessly to advance the mission of the board. Tracy assumed this role in a time of pandemic crisis and has led the board judiciously with empathy, wisdom, and compassion, and so well ever since. And I want to acknowledge that Tracy has just celebrated her 15th anniversary of working for this New York State. So thank you, Tracy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to acknowledge Lee Brown, our talented and tireless executive director, who is with us today in Menands. Lee is a beacon here for demonstrating leadership, fairness, and innovation, qualities which we highly value. Thank you, Lee. And I wish to thank Principal ALJ for Appeals, Christopher Tate, who is with me today here in Menands, particularly for his work at the Higher Authority, but also for his many years of dedication in these ever-changing times. Thank you, Chris. I want to thank Heidi Kelly, who's taking the minutes, and our talented BSA team, Amy Higby, Nastasia Tripp, and Jared Bowl, who will be assisting with their technology today. Before the call to order, I would like to remind members, staff, and the public that our next public meeting of the board will be held Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Thank you. I am now calling this meeting to order. First order of business is a roll call of the attendees by Lee Brown.
Thank you, Chair Riley. First, I will note that you are in Manans and take the remainder of the roll call. When I say your name, please say you're present and note your present location that is accessible to the public. Board Member Randall Douglas.
Manans, present.
Board Member Kimberly Jean Pierre.
Manans, present.
Board Member Marilyn O'Mara.
Manans, present.
Board Member June O'Neill.
Present, remote from Canton, New York.
Thank you. Chair Riley, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We can proceed. Our next order of business is a reading and adoption of the agenda. Would you kindly take a moment to look at the agenda, read it? The agenda has been circulated and published. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you,
Second.
Marilyn. We'll now have a vote. All in favor of adopting the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
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 Hearing no votes in the negative, the agenda has been adopted. Thank you. Turning to the adopted agenda, our next item is to read the minutes from our October 16, 2024 meeting and adopt them into the record.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move that we waive the reading of the minutes and adopt them into the record as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion from Randall Douglas to waive the reading of the minutes and adopt them into the record. Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, June. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Hearing no opposition, the motion is accepted and the minutes are incorporated into the record. Our first report will be presented by our Chief ALJ, Tracy Cuppy. Oh, wait, excuse me, I'm out of order here. The first report is going to be Lee Brown, the
you.
Executive Director.
Thank you, Jerry, and good morning. It's wonderful to see everyone. Before I talk about what we've accomplished this year, I'd like to recap 2024. 2024 was a productive year and we accomplished a great deal with customer service as our priority. Our entire staff demonstrated resilience in the face of numerous changes. We successfully conducted virtual hearings, initiated the continuing legal education library project, launched our electronic case filing project, began cross-training select hearing judges to handle appeal work, started cross-training select hearing administrative staff on appeal administrative tasks, and enhanced the robocall hearing reminders to provide an option to directly connect to the UIB administration for support. Couch Covey will report on some of those in more detail in her report. The IVR system is a great tool for admin to be able to answer calls while working remotely and statewide from and for all of our offices. It also provides reports to watch for and ensure high customer service standards. In 2024, our team handled a significant volume of calls and routinely made return calls as necessary. Our research found that an IVR system's average customer service score was between 80 and 85%. Due to the nature of our calls, we set a baseline of 95%. Our admin team is skilled at assisting New Yorkers during high-stress times, and we are proud of our team's ability to maintain high standards. Each of our admin team members is trained on how to utilize the IVR, and if needed, they're able to obtain help from their colleagues or supervisors while on the call. Due to our hands-on deck approach, we set a baseline to have calls wait in the call queue for 5 minutes or less. In 2024, we received 59,588 incoming calls. We made 21,222 outbound calls, had an average wait time for a caller of only 29 seconds, and scored a 95.67% in overall customer service based on the metrics from the system. In 2023 and 2024, we saw a high turnover on the admin team, and we can all be proud that the team exceeded all expectations. Upon entering 2025, the robocalls were enhanced to further provide an SMS text notification. Today, when a hearing participant receives a robocall, they have an option to connect with the UIB administration or receive SMS text notification with the date and time of their hearing and the hearing ID and the link to the hearing so they can connect through their phone if they prefer. This offers the hearing participants more information and a better connection to UIAB at their fingertips. On April 11th, we launched a UIAB SharePoint communication intranet. As work evolves, so does the need to enhance our internal communication. We also looked at the best way to keep the tools and resources staff uses daily at their fingertips, organized and the most current. Our talented BSA team of Jared Bull here in Manans, Amy Higby in Manans, and Nastasia Tripp in Brooklyn, who is led by Jared, built a platform to make this vision a reality. The collaboration and creativity used in the development of this platform has impressed professionals from outside of the UIB as well. The UIB BSA team is the best BSA team I have ever had the pleasure to work with. Our new UIB SharePoint will provide staff with all email updates in one location. So what happens is I'll send out emails on a regular basis to them, and they now have one hub where they're all collected. They don't have to search through their email. We have a kudos corner to acknowledge exceptional work or achievement for people. We have a judicial hub. We have an admin hub, which supports each of their scopes of work. There's UIB production metrics, training announcements, scheduled monthly tech tips. Contribution of Jared came up with that to help our team modernize, and many more resources and links that they can use all in one place now. In December, we started to look at employee ticketing system to provide a better source of assistance for employees and allow us to track and organize issues to collect longitudinal data and reoccurrent issues. The BSA team is currently exploring options with ITS. Once we find a product that meets our needs, we plan to link all appropriate ticketing and support information to our UIB SharePoint as well. We've dedicated more of our admin and judges to the unemployment insurance improvement modernization project for user acceptance testing, which is application testing, and to learning how to train staff before go live. Training will be scheduled 2 months ahead of go live, and all staff will have approximately a few weeks to practice after training before the official go live. The go live date has not yet been announced. So we ended 2024 achieving every goal we set, and we started 2025 continuing in the same fashion. Thank you all. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Lee. There's so much information and so much accomplishment reflected in this report. It's hard to even put the order in words, because when I hear we are returning or answering calls in 20 seconds, that is an accomplishment for the customers that we treat, and a very stressful time in their lives. So anything we can do about that, obviously, we're making that a priority. You really managed to marry the technology with our goal of universal fairness and appreciation for the stress of the moment. The BSA team has really distinguished itself in so many ways. I remember that they've also been lauded by ITS.
Yes.
For maybe
Thank you for mentioning that.
You're welcome. ITS has determined they had the best, the most efficient, the most meaningful web experience for customers through other state agencies for 3 months in a row. We came out first. So we are constantly working to serve our customers and our employees, and it's fabulous to see it's working. So thank you for that. Are there any other comments or thoughts from any other board members? If not, is there a motion to accept the report and incorporate it into the record?
So moved.
Thank you, June. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Marilyn. All in favor of accepting Lee's report and incorporating into the record, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. It's unanimous and the report is incorporated. Thank you, Lee. We're going to now move on to the Chief Administrative Law Judge's report. We'll now hear from Tracy Covey.
Thank you, Chair Riley, and good morning, everyone. Along the same lines as Lee, I would like to give you a brief overview of some of our accomplishments in 2024. It was a year of technological advancements and of streamlining processes for the board. First, as you're aware, we began holding more board hearings. Historically, cases were sent back to the lower authority when it was determined that on appeal that a hearing record needed to be further developed. But due to the increased inventory at the lower authority, it became increasingly more difficult for us to schedule these cases in a manner to allow them to be quickly resolved. To streamline and shorten the process, we expanded the type of hearings that the board held at the board level so that a higher authority ALJ can quickly develop any additional information needed for the record and come to a decision without remanding the case back to the lower authority. Another wonderful achievement is thanks to the hard work of Christopher Tate, our principal ALJ who's here with us today. We're also able to formalize the procedure for cross-training lower and higher authority judges so that we can pivot staff more easily between between the hearings and the appeals. This is necessary because of inventory demands and to ensure that judges remain highly skilled in both hearings and in appeal practices. In early 2025, several judges rotated to the higher authority where they will be working appeals for approximately 6 months. We plan to continue with these rotations as inventory demands. Additionally, in 2024, Principal ALJ Justin Denton helped train the higher authority judges on how to use the virtual hearing system and the electronic case file. This allowed higher authority ALJs to rotate to hearings for approximately 6 weeks in 2024 in both April and November. I'm also very proud to report that we expanded our internal continuing legal education program. Principal ALJ Allison Ferrara led the conversion of a significant portion of our new hire training so that CLE credit could be offered in the areas of voluntary quit, misconduct, capability, availability, and work search. We also offered live CLE courses to our judges statewide on the topic of status and contributions, as well as provoked discharge. Then in January of this year, through the hard work of our BSA, judicial, and administrative teams, we launched our on-demand CLE library. Several judges created and recorded training videos ranging in length from 30 minutes to 2 hours for CLE credit that are accessible to attorneys across the Department of Labor. We currently have 6 trainings available in the library, and there are approximately 20 programs that are in various stages of development that will be added throughout 2025. This year has also seen the UIAB transition to a paperless workplace. And I know that the trees across the state are saying hallelujah. Judges have had the opportunity to use an electronic case file for a little over a year now. This was optional for them up until January of this year because we still maintained a paper case file as the file of record throughout last year. Then beginning on January 21st, we discontinued the use of the paper case files and now solely use electronic case files at the lower authority. The full transition to paperless is still in process at the higher authority, since cases that started in paper will remain in paper until they are fully completed. But we are working through the paper inventory quickly and are now beginning to assign appeals that are solely in electronic format. Turning to recruitment news, we hired 18 ALJs last year, 4 in April, 5 in September, and another 9 in March of this year. We currently have another 15 positions posted with an expected start date of July 3rd, 2025. Our April class from last year has been on full calendar since the summer of 2024 and will complete their probationary period later this month. They have been a fantastic addition to the board and are already heavily involved with several ongoing projects such as our computer modernization project and the development of CLEs for our new library. Our September class went on full calendar in December. They recently completed their first 6 months with us and continue to progress. And our March class is in their initial training phase, holding hearings intermittently while they learn our substantive law and their procedures. Now, switching gears from personnel to our quality numbers, the federal quality review scores remain remarkably high. For the fourth quarter of 2024, we had an average score of 99.09. This was based on the 20 randomly selected cases that were scored according to the 31 federal criteria. All of these cases achieved US DOL's passing grade of 85% or higher, and 14 of the 20 hearings had perfect scores of 100. We are currently conducting the FQRs for the first quarter of 2025, which I will report on in the next meeting. Now, while our quality remains high, we still struggle to meet US DOL acceptable level of performance markers at the lower authority. We reported an average case age of 61 days to US DOL in February of 2025. For customer service purposes, we are focused on scheduling the oldest cases first so that number is slowly coming down. We are hopeful that with the last round of hiring and our current recruitment efforts, that we will be better staffed and be able to decrease not only our average case age, but also the requirements that we complete 60% of our cases within 30 days and 80% of our cases within 45 days. Now, Principal ALJ Tate will report on the higher authority numbers and some other items of note that have occurred since our last meeting in his report. That concludes my report. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I want to commend you again on the excellent quality you and your team have been able to achieve, which is really remarkable. To have a quality assurance score, an average score of 99.09, really does validate all the work that you've put into the training and the excellence of our staff. We work tirelessly here to improve. And I think Tracy has really embodied that. It's hard to improve when the average score is 99, but we are still.
We've got a little room for improvement. We're shooting for 100.
We're still working, yes, that's right. And no bridge is too far here. So thank you so much. I've seen the work and the effort, and it's just such a clear acknowledgement that the job is hard, but you're doing it. So thank you so much for that. The other items that you covered, the CLE library is going to be foundational for the UIB in the years to come. It's going to become a resource for UIB, for all of our employees. Our admin employees are going to be taking some of these classes to become familiar with the work that we do. So again, thank you so much for all that you've accomplished. Are there any other comments or thoughts from other board members about Tracy's report? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the report and incorporate it into the record?
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Marilyn. June, all in favor of accepting the report and incorporating it into the record, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Hearing no negative votes, the report is incorporated into the record. So thank you, Tracy. And we now move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the report of Principal ALJ for Appeals, the higher authority, Christopher Tate.
Thank you, Chair Riley. Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to provide you with updates on the higher authority and recent appellate division cases. First, I will report on our numbers. Fortunately, we are not quite in compliance with overall case age requirements. New York's last report dated to the US DOL for February of 2025 shows that our average case age was 45 days. We are also not meeting the appeals time-lapse requirements. US DOL data for February shows that we completed 256 appeals that month, with 17.2% of those cases completed within 45 days and 42.6% were completed within 75 days. Part of the reason for the decrease in the higher authority production has been due to low staffing and the need to shift higher authority ALJs to hearings to assist with our hearing backlog. We continued to hold additional board hearings in many appealed cases requiring a further hearing rather than remand the case to the hearing section for a new hearing and new decision. While this may have contributed to our increased case age, parties benefited as they were able to obtain quicker resolution on their cases. Appeals ALJs also gained experience using electronic case files while they conducted these hearings, which will help them easily navigate through the upcoming fully paperless appeals. We continue to cross-train appeal and hearing judges. In January of 2025, 2 hearing judges rotated to appeals. In February of 2025, 2 additional hearing judges rotated to appeals. And in the beginning of April of this month, another judge rotated to appeals. 3 of these judges are also assigned to the computer modernization project and are performing testing of the new system for approximately 50% of their work week. The rotation assists the work at the higher authority while further enhancing the judge's legal knowledge and skills. Our appeal production has increased with their addition. As to recently decided court cases, matter of Fakora was decided on December 12th of 2024, and the site is 233 83rd 1215. Court affirmed the board's decisions holding claimant ineligible to receive benefits from March 16th of 2020 through June 30th of 2020 and September 7th of 2020 through October 11th of 2020 because she was not totally employed, and held the claimant ineligible to receive benefits from June 29th of 2020 through September 6th of 2020 because she received reasonable assurance of continued employment. Claimant was employed as a teacher's aide for BOCES for 10 years under an annual contract and pursuant to a collective bargaining agreement. The agreement provided that she would receive salary step increases each year. Claimant worked remotely from March 16th of 2020 through June 18th of 2020, was paid through June 30th of 2020, and did not work during the summer of 2020. On or about June 16th of 2020, claimant received a letter of reasonable assurance from BOCES informing her that she was expected to return to work for the 2020 to 2021 school year in the same capacity and under the same economic terms and conditions of the prior school year. She resumed working on September 7th of 2020. Citing matter of Lee at 190 Appellate Division 3rd, 1170, the court held that claimant was not totally unemployed. Citing matter of Oberacker at 213 83rd, 1128, the court also found that claimant had reasonable assurance of employment. Matter of Mamone was decided on January 9th, and the site is 234 83rd, 1096. Here, the court affirmed the board's decision holding claimant unable to file a valid original claim because he worked as an independent contractor and not an employee. Clothing company retained claimant to provide it with consulting services. Claimant did not have to submit a resume or go through an application or screening process. Claimant worked from home, used his own cell phone, and set his hours. Claimant set his own weekly pay. Claimant did not receive any training or need to seek approval when taking time off. Company did not provide any equipment or resources to claimant, and claimant did not have to submit any regular written reports to the company or receive any performance evaluations from it. Citing matter of Farley at 131 83rd 1295, the court found substantial evidence supported the board's determination that claimant was an independent contractor. The last case is matter of Ito, and that was decided on January 30th, and the site is 234 83rd 1215. In this case, the court affirmed the board's decisions holding the claimant a part-time bilingual administrative assistant, was an employee of International Business Promotion, or IBP, which was a recruiting and marketing company, and not its client, NHK Cosmo Media America, a company that operated a television station that produced and broadcasts content in Japanese. IBP reviewed claimant's resume, interviewed her, and referred her to NHK. IBP set both the pay rate it paid claimant and the higher rate NHK paid IBP for claimant's services, the difference representing IBP's profit. The staffing agreements entered between IBP and NHK set forth IBP's obligation to find, screen, and refer personnel to NHK and the expected duties, hours, and skills of the position, restricted where claimant could work, prohibited work travel and work in certain states, and precluded NHK from hiring claimant during the assignment and for 3 years thereafter. IBP paid claimant directly upon receipt of timesheets on its letterhead completed by claimant and signed by an NHK officer to verify her hours. While claimant worked at NHK's offices and was supervised by NHK staff, IBP handled complaints from claimant regarding working conditions, vacation, and early departure requests and problems at NHK. IBP also addressed matters with claimant when NHK staff expressed dissatisfaction with her work hours and schedule, necessarily engaging in an evaluation and supervision of claimant's work performance. IBP continued to pay claimant for her services to NHK for months, despite NHK's not payment to IBP for her services. citing matter of Vega at 35 New York 3rd, 131. The court found substantial evidence supported the board's finding that IBP exercised sufficient control over claimant's work duties and conditions to establish an employment relationship. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for really your dedication in achieving such a deep understanding of these very complicated issues that we must adjudicate. You have had such an influence on the work that we do that I cannot thank you enough. We are a board with a higher and a lower authority, and if there is somebody who has been embodied the higher authority, it's been you. So thank you so much, Chris. Are there any thoughts about the work that reflected in the report at all? Yes.
You seem to get less of a reasonable assurance cases now. We used to get a bunch of them, so it's maybe 2 years ago, we were overwhelmed with reasonable insurance cases. And what was the reason for that? Why would it, at that time,
Well, I think a lot of it was pandemic related.
Okay.
Questions about, whether people would be coming back to work in the following fall.
Okay.
So a lot of it, I think, is pandemic.
I just wanted to comment on, I know we're all, expressed some concern about the time lapse requirements, but I think as we fill all these vacancies, these ALJ vacancies that we've been hit with so much because of retirements and so forth, that I think that issue will resolve itself.
Agreed. And we're certainly making efforts to ensure that we have sufficient staff to meet the demands of the work. So thanks to everybody for their contribution to that effort. If there are no other comments on Christopher's report, I will entertain a motion to incorporate the report into the record. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. And is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Marilyn. All in favor of accepting the report and incorporating it into the record, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. In this instance, the report is incorporated into the record. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Moving on to the agenda, our next item on the agenda is any new business. Is there any new business that we are here to discuss today?
I'd just like to welcome Kimberly and thank you. Looking forward to working with you and getting to know you. Thank you and welcome aboard and congratulations to the four of you. We wouldn't operate as smoothly without the four of you. So you guys are incredible. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And I second the welcome to Kimberly.
Appreciate it.
Thrilled that you're with us.
And I third it. And also thank everyone here for all of their hard work. It's greatly appreciated. None of us could do the work that we do without your hard work and assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marilyn. Thanks for the comments. If there's no other new business, then is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Marilyn. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
Heidi, you can stop the recording, please. And we'll stay on. I will go down. Do you want me to get Kat or do you want to get her?